The prosecutions against Condé, as well as other officials and ex-ministers, include alleged acts of corruption, illicit enrichment, money laundering, and embezzlement of public funds and complicity. In total, the Minister of Justice, Alphonse Charles Wright, gave a list of 188 names, some of which are already in prison. Their accounts are frozen. According to the letter sent by the Minister to the Attorneys General, it is imperative to open judicial investigations to clarify the origin of the funds in these various accounts, the Minister added. The former leader was overthrown in 2021 by Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya. Since then, he was granted multiple stays abroad to seek medical treatment. The Guinea military authorities said in May they would prosecute former President Alpha Condé and 26 of his officials for violence surrounding his bid for a controversial third term in office in 2020. The Guinean judiciary had acted following the January 2022 action by the National Front for the Defense of the Constitution, a collective that led the months-long protest against the third term for Condé from October 2019. The collective has since been dissolved by the junta because its members denounced the unilateral management of the so-called transition period, the seizure of power, and had called for demonstrations banned by the authorities. Some 30,000 people representing governments, businesses, NGOs, and civil society groups are registered to attend the meeting, which gets underway on Sunday. This year's gathering is taking place against the backdrop of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which has caused global inflation and an energy and food crisis. Many countries have had to scale back on their climate goals in the short term, and it is believed COP27 will likely see a setback in the pledges and commitments previously made by some of them. UN warning on temperature cap. Under the Paris Agreement on Climate Change, adopted by 196 parties in 2016, the goal is to limit global warming to below 2 degrees Celsius and preferably to 1.5 degrees Celsius compared to pre-industrial levels. But last week, the United Nations warned that there is no credible pathway in place for capping the rise in global temperatures under the target of 1.5 degrees Celsius. At last year's COP26 in Glasgow, nations agreed to review their carbon-cutting pledges annually and not just every 5 years, though only a handful of nations have done so in 2022.